The spectacle, though an attraction, is the least artistic of all the parts and has least to do with the art of poetry. இதெல்லாம் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் ரொம்ப படித்தா தான் புரிய முடியும். என்னால் புரிய முடியல. நான் இதை புரிஞ்சா தொல்காப்பியரை பார்க்கலாம். Then melody. Melody, what is too completely understood to require explanation. But further, the subject represented also in an action, and the action involves agents who must necessarily have distinctive qualities both of character and thought. Melody is the greatest pleasurable accessories of tragedy, the most important of 6 combinations of the incidents of the story. So, it's a small beginning. I am trying to understand first with his book Kavidayal about Aristotle. Then I am planning, why should I not write a book on Tolkappiyar poetics? Even I am thinking in that way. Afterwards, I can write a book on comparative study. First I must write a book on Tolkappiyar poetics as Aristotle poetry. Then we can go to comparison. That is the opinion at present. Thank you very much, because if any question that can be answered by Professor Manavalan. Now Professor Manavalan will present his paper.
Chairman of the session, Dr. S.V. Subramaniam sir, Professor Ayodhi, Professor Arunachalam, Professor Chalapan, and all the very august audience in the assembly hall. I would like to share with you certain ideas about the Itigasas, Ramayana and Mahabharata as got translated into Tamil. Just as this. I am just reading the paper, but unfortunately you don't have the copies with you. It has not been prepared. Literary influences. Literary influences could be classified into 2 aspects: positive influence and negative influence. Translation, imitation, adaptation, and transcreation are considered as forms of positive influence. These influences are found to be occurring both within a culture and across cultures. Parody, satire, caricature, travesty, and counter design are considered as forms of negative influence. They usually occur within a culture. This paper essays to trace the influence of the Itigasas on the literary productions of the Tamils from 3rd century BC onwards. This influence has occurred in the form of references through similes, metaphors, allusions in the early literary compositions, in the forms of translation, adaptations, and transcreation in the later literary works. This is from the point of view of the giver. Giver means from the Sanskrit Itigasas. On the reception side, this paper attempts to discuss the factors such as, while receiving the Itigasas, what was received as such from the giving culture, how was the new materials absorbed and integrated with the main structure, and with what degree of success. This is from the point of view of the receiver, that means Tamil language. There seems to be, however, a different kind of literary phenomenon wherein the text of the less dominant culture or the receiver, after some period of co-living with that of the dominant culture or the giver, start influencing the giver, makes an impact on the dominant culture and becomes itself the giver. This kind of literary backthrust may be called reflexive influence or counter-influence, for want of a better term. In keeping with time and space of this paper, the discussion will be confined to Sangam classics and Tamil epics such as Silappatikaram, Manimekale, Bharatavemba, and Kambaramayana. Valmiki Ramayana and Vyasa Mahabharatas are lucky enough to have acquired critical editions in India. Only the 2 epics that have found critical editions. These editions have analyzed the text into two main readings, namely the northern dissension and the southern dissension, meaning texts that were prevalent in the northern and southern parts of India respectively. Comparative readings of these two recensions of both the Ramayana and the Mahabharata have revealed several instances of counter-influence. Regarding the Ramayana, the cause of Ahalya is described in the northern dissension as Vayubaksha Nirahara Tapyanti Bhasmasayini Addesha Sarvabhutanam Asvaramesin Bhavishyasi. So this is the curse, the sloka. Vayubaksha Nirahara Tapyanti Bhasmasayini, meaning lie down on the bed of ashes in affliction without food, nirahara, vayubaksha, eating, subsisting on air. And that's what the northern dissension of Valmiki Ramayana says. Some of the southern dissension texts record the same curse as follows. The same Valmiki Ramayana that was in use in the south. Vayubaksha sila bhutva tapyanti bhasmasayini. Be thou turned into a stone and lie down in the affliction on the bed of ashes, subsisting on air. So that second foot, namely Nirahara, has been replaced by Shila Bhutva. This is found in the Valmiki Ramayanas available in the southern India, wherever it may be, including the Gita Press Valmiki Ramayana. That is, the second foot of northern dissension Nirahara is replaced by the term Silabhutva in the southern dissension. While the northern dissension of Valmiki Ramayana says Ahalya was cursed to remain without food, the southern dissension says she was cursed to be turned into a stone. The editorial notes of the Baroda critical edition says, the reading of Silabhutva is found in the southern dissension text, G1, G2, G3, M1 and M2 text. These are all the scripts written in Grantha and Malayalam scripts. It means to say that only such are the versions of the Valmiki Ramayana that are being used in the Tamil Nadu, including the present Kerala, have the term Nirahara replaced by the term Silabhutva. The G3 Grantha script and the M1 Malayalam script belong to 15th century AD and are the oldest southern dissension text available now. It is available in Madras University Library. The SR text of the Ramayana referred to above have been influenced by two Tamil texts. One a Sangam classic, a Paripadal poem, and the other was Ramayana by the Kamban of the 10th century AD. The Paripadal poem by Nappannayar says, this is Indra, the cat. She is Ahalya. He is Gautama, who cursed her thus to become a stone. This is the 19th poem in Paripadal, beautifully explains this whole situation. This poem gives us clue as to what might have been Kamban's source when he portrays Gautama cursing Ahalyas. When Kamban says, Kalliyal Adiyandan, Kalmarung Marungu Virndal. This is a Kamban line. Be thou turned into a stone. In the absence of such a description of the cause in any of the versions of Valmiki Ramayana in the north or in the southern regional text of eastern Deccan, we have no other option to conclude that the SR text of the Valmiki Ramayana being reproduced in medieval Tamil Nadu came to be influenced by the Sangam poems